Man, might I say, that was a good race. I mean, obviously, besides the fact of the yellow, not what Tony Peffer wanted to see. Unfortunate events for him. We'll see him back out here once again in the B main events. Still 2 more Sport Mod heat races set to come up here. Once again, want to thank you race fans for coming out here on this Jerry Shannon Memorial Easter Extravaganza. And we are now Facebook Live here for at Merced Speedway on IMCA TV. Facebook Live look in here for these final 2 sport mods, heat races, and our first 2 modified heat races. Here's the lineup for heat race number 3. Row number 1 is going to be the 98 of Glenn Cook out of Mariposa, and to his outside is going to be the 4H of Emily Vanhoff out of Chowchilla.
Row 2 is going to be the 188 of the Pacheco Pistol, Kenny Schrader, and to his outside, last race winner, 17B of Tyler Blankenship.
Third row is going to be the 151 of a Tyler Bannister out of Bakersfield, and to his outside out of Chowchilla in the 714. That is going to be Timmy Cruz.
And in the 4th row, all by his lonesome in the 20T, the other Thomas brother, Tyler Thomas out of Atwater, California.
This
we
one's
got
sweet.
some hitters.
This one's sweet.
We got some good ones.
This one's going to be good. Last week's winner, Blankenship. You got the Pacheco Pistol 188. Oh, let's not forget, you have the National Rookie of the Year back in 2020, Tyler Bannister.
Green flag in the air, and we're going to bring him down into turn 1. Emily Vanhoff with an awesome start.
Oh.
She's going to take the lead. Bannister into the back of the 98 car. Everyone gets straight. Timmy Cruz makes it back onto the track. Meanwhile, Emily Vanhoff going to lead the first lap. Blankenship in the 2 spot. Bannister in the 3.
Want to make a correction on that. National Rookie of the Year 2021, Tyler Bannister. And meanwhile, we got a good battle going on for the lead. It is Emily Vanhoff and Tyler Blankenship.
Bannister starting to make himself known up front. Kenny Schrader finally gets clear, and he's going to make pursuit of the top 3 as they head off of turn 4. Blankenship doing what he does lately, out front, in control of this one. Bannister going to slide up into that 2nd spot, take that 2nd spot away from Emily Vanhoff as they head into turn 3. Blankenship out front, Bannister in the 2, Vanhoff in the 3, Schrader in the 4. That is your 4 transfer spots as they sit on the racetrack now.
2 heavy hitters duking it out. Let's see, this one's going to get interesting in the final closing laps between Blankenship and Bannister, and the Tyler and Tyler show going on here at Merced Speedway for heat race number 3.
There is starting to be some character developing over there in turn number 1. Meanwhile, Schrader going to go to that 3 spot. So move Kenny Schrader up to the 3, making moves down on the bottom of the racetrack. All these guys now migrating to the bottom. 2 laps to go. Blankenship out front. Bannister to the infield. That does not look good. That looks to be mechanical. White flag in the air for Blankenship. Schrader in the 2 spot, Vanhoff, and that's going to put the 98 car of Glenn Cook into the 4 spot.
Meanwhile, coming to the checkered flag is going to be the 17B of Tyler Blankenship. Kenny Schrader with a strong 2nd place finish, Emily Vanhoff 3rd, and Glenn Cook, as you mentioned, the driver out of Mariposa, is going to go straight to the feature here.
Man, meanwhile, checking into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the 151 down there of Tyler Bannister. Bummer, man, bummer.
And that one was really going to cook up to be a good one, a good finish there. We seen him struggle a little bit. He bobbled going into 3. Not sure if that could have offset something in the race car. And I know how hard of a hard worker and how he strives for perfection. Tyler Bannister, man, he is. I know he's kicking himself right there, but
hey, if that's something that can be fixed, that's another one that you can bet your dollar that he'll come back out here in a B-main and make something of it and put on a show for you fans. Give it up for him as he exits the racetrack, giving it everything he had. Tyler Bannister in that 151.
As we get set for our final Sport Mod Heat race here, we're going to try to lock in our final 4 here into the feature. Row number 1 is going to be the 38 out of Tracy. That's Casey Keller to his outside. Pulling double duty in the 7J out of Brentwood. That is Fred Ryland.
To the inside of row number 2, that's the 52 of Jason Ryan Jr. out of Oakley, California. And the rookie, the one I got my eyes on, the 44T of Tyler Tucker in the 4th spot.
Third row is going to be the 2 of Kelly Campanelli out of Oakley. And to her outside, the 80D of Dylan Wilson out of Bakersfield.
And then rounding out your 4th and final row, the 21T, the 3rd and final Thomas brother, Chase Thomas out of Atwater, California.
Yeah, I might say as good and well of a performance he has put in that mini late model. Let's see how that's going to transition over here into our sport mod. Your rookie year in your sport mod, obviously coming off the hobby stocks. What kind of emotions, nerves, where were you feeling?
I'm going to be following the back bumper of those guys right in front of me. Those are 2 guys that have been doing this for a long time, ran a lot of races. Be a sponge, soak up as much as you can, learn as much as you can. This is the right track to do it on. He's got the right people to follow, and he's going to get a chance as they head down into the NNS restart zone. Green flag in the air. Casey Keller and Fred Ryland lead them down into turn 1.
Want to give a quick shout out the Gallagher family watching back in San Jose. Rob, we wish you were here, but we got a fantastic battle going on for the lead. It is Fred Ryland and Casey Keller. Ryland's going to be your leader across the line.
Look at Tyler Tucker to the back bumper of Casey Keller as they head down into turn number 1. Holding his own in that 3rd spot. Take those rookie flags off. This boy is moving.
It is cooking. The kid is cooking. Here he comes in second. Oh my, the rookie Tyler Tucker in the 44 making moves here around Merced Speedway.
Jason Ryan in that 3rd spot. Meanwhile, Fred Ryland out front, lonesome by himself. Tyler Tucker now moving into that 2 spot. He is going to try to catch him. Jason Ryan moving to the bottom. This is going to be the first pressure this kid's had. He's driving the wheels off it. Oh no, and just like that, one mistake off the top of turn number 4. Dang it, Tyler Tucker gonna come to a stop off of turn number 4. Gosh.
Might I say, I was rooting for them. I was rooting for them, the 44. Oh my, race fans, Tyler Tucker is making moves over. Unfortunately, we see him over there. Oh, and he's going to look like he's going to be able to get it going.
Yeah, he'll be fine. It's just a matter of regrouping now. This is a rookie learning. You have to make mistakes to learn to be faster. Give it up for him. He's trying. Tyler Tucker bringing it back out onto the racetrack, and one and done. Dang.
Oh, man.
He's going to take it off the track. He's going to go back to the pits. He knows what he's got to fix. That's an easy fix for the B-main. Meanwhile, we got a race.
I'm excited to see what that B-main's going to consist of. Tyler Tucker, no fear. He put it to him. Casey Keller and Casey Keller and Jason Ryan are no slouches here in this sport mod class, and he put it to him.
No, Casey Keller is one that I learned from when I first jumped into a sport mod, somebody I've watched for years before I got into one. Ryland's out here. These guys are exactly who you want to be learning from, like I said earlier. And like I said before, you have to make mistakes. You have to lose races to learn how to win them, and that's going to breed that kid. He's going to come back with fire. Meanwhile, Fred Ryland going to pace him down the back stretch, and we're going to head into the NNS restart zone. Fred Ryland with a nice pace. Casey Keller and Jason Ryan on the outside, green flag in the air. Ryland with an awesome start. And Jason Ryan gonna try to follow him in side by side off of turn number 2. Ryan to the 2 spot. Casey Keller to the 3. In the 80 car of Dylan Wilson in the 4. That is your 4th and final transfer as we work lap number 5.
Just 3 laps to go here. Brant and Fred Ryland, he's starting to scoot away. Meanwhile, good 3-car battle between Ryan Keller, and here comes Dylan Wilson.
Wow. What a race for this 2nd spot. Throw a blanket over him. Jason Ryan, Casey Keller, and Dylan Wilson putting on a show right here. White flag in the air. Ryland takes the white flag.
Meanwhile, let's see what's going to happen. Pretty much this one looks like it's going to be the Ryland race here. Who's going to fall in that second spot? Meanwhile, Casey Keller, he dips to the inside of Jason Ryan. Fred Ryan across the line. He's your winner. It's going to be Jason Ryan second, Casey Keller third. And like you said, the 80 of Dylan Wilson in that fourth and final transfer spot with Kelly Campanelli rounding out the top 5. Yep. Race fans, make some noise for the 7JF Fast Fred Ryland.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. I think Nelson is new to the Sport Mods this year. Am I right? Yeah?
Yes, this is going to be the first full-time season that he's behind the wheel of the Sport Mods. Like I said, last time we seen it, well, his car, car back rolling out on the racetrack. Speaking of the devil, the old car rolling back out on the racetrack in the 80D as we seen last year, now driven by Kevin Irwin. I'm not quite sure full-time, but looks like he's just coming back out here to get some laps. Obviously, we've seen he kind of had some struggles in his heat race. Just want to make sure that that car is working, and it looks like it is.
And you know what, Joe? We're going A-Mod racing.
The premier A-Mod class here at Merced Speedway. This is our stone-spreading IMCA modified set to roll out onto the racetrack here. Top 5 are locked in, with the top 4 going straight to redraw. Heat race number 1 looks like this. Row number 1 is going to be the 55D of Danny Malfatti out of Hayward. To his outside, the 44 of Eric Hamilton out of Newhall.
In row number 2 on the inside, the 51G of Gavin Manning out of Bakersfield, California. And to his outside, the 09 of Garrett Korn out of Merced, California.
Row number 3 is going to be the 22 of Paul Guglielmoni out of Vacaville. And to his outside, last year's track champion in the 14P, that is Ryan Porter out of Atwater.
Row number 4, the 01 of Raymond Kelson, and to his outside, the 74S of Chris Swicky.
And it looks like Chris
Yellow light staying on. We're going to go around one more time.
Oh, no, everybody's making the call. I'm over here saying that he didn't make the call.
It's okay, Joe. It's all right.
Looks like everybody's making the call, and we got some fast guys here in this one. This modified racing, I'm not sure if you got to announce modified racing, but this one goes by, it goes by really quick.
Yeah.
They move around this racetrack.
I've known Eric Hamilton for a long time, and I know he's going to be chomping at the bit to win this heat race. Starting on the outside front row as they bring him in to the NNS restart zone. Joe, we're going green.
And green flag is underway for our first modified heat race underway. Everybody dives down and they file down to the bottom side of the racetrack. They go 1 by 2 by 2 by 2. Down the back straightaway, we talked about Eric Hamilton. He jumps out to the early lead. Here comes Garrett Korn. He's cooking on the top side of the racetrack. We got them coming off 3 wide with Danny Malfatti in that third spot, Brent.
Garrett Korn wasting no time getting up to the front. Meanwhile, Danny Malfatti giving him some pressure now. Eric Hamilton out in cruise control. Garrett Korn gonna come off of turn 4 and edge slowly ahead. Gavin Manning in this deal, Ryan Porter in this deal. We got a race going on for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
We keep our eyes on that second, third, fourth, and fifth battle. Meanwhile, Garrett Korn starting to scoot away. Good battle going on for third. Here comes Ryan Porter. He's trying to throw his name in the mix. He goes side by side now with the 51G of Gavin Manning. Manning goes up to the top side. Porter down low, and they're all over the back bumper of Danny Malfatti. Meanwhile, Manning, he's going to try to throw a slide job. It's not going to work, and he goes side by side with the 55.
Gavin Manning just trying to put enough pressure on Malfatti to make a mistake. He does that time, move him to the third spot, working lap number 5 now. Manning getting tight. Here comes Porter to the bottom, move Porter to the 4th spot. Malfatti trying to dive to the bottom, can't make it happen. So we got Manning running third, Porter in the 4, and Malfatti in the 5. Whoa, close quarters coming off of turn number 4. Joe, Porter is heading down the backstretch. He's got clear track behind him.
Meanwhile, out front, we turn our attention back to our leader in the 44, Eric Hamilton. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the asphalt ace here. Now back on dirt here. As he goes into turn 3 and he comes out of 4, he's going to take home heat race number 1 here in the modifieds. Second is
Korn going to be in the 2 spot, Manning in the 3, Porter in the 4, and Malfatti taking the last transfer spot, but Porter taking that all-important last redraw spot.
Race fans, as he comes by, make some noise for the 44 of Eric Hamilton.
Eric Hamilton's been doing this for a long time too. I've been racing against him since mini cups back in the late 2000s. I've known him for a long time. Very good pavement racer, and it's showing right now. A lot of pavement skills come into play on this kind of racetrack, just holding the car straight and keeping as much momentum as possible. It showed right there in that heat race.
And we turn our attention just 2 more heat races here, and then we will turn our attention to our Easter Extravaganza, kids. Easter Extravaganza, these drivers will come out with goodies and gifts for you kids. Just 2 more heat races, then we'll turn our attention down to the infield here. Heat race number 2 is going to look like this. Row number 1 is going to be the 34J of Jeff Faulkner out of Rona Park, and to his outside is going to be the 80P of John Pierce out of San Jose.
Row number 2 inside is going to be the 20 car of Cody Burke out of Salinas, California, and to his outside the 28 of Trevor Fitz from Camarillo, California.
Third row is going to be the 15P of Andrew Pierce out of Oakley. To his outside is going to be the 22 of Robert Marsh out of Salinas.
Row 4 in the back, number 49, Tricky Troy Folger, and to his outside, 27 of Timmy Allerdings out of Prescott Valley, Arizona.
Lights are out, sprint, let's get him started.
Faulkner with an awesome start. He's going to get a good jump headed down into 1. Do they call it back? It doesn't look like it. Burke is going to try to shred into that second spot. Here comes Trevor Fitz trying to thread the needle, move him to the 3. What a start, a lot of movement. Tricky Troy Folger all the way up to the 4.
Troy Folger's not messing around here. Meanwhile, he's got his attention now on the 28. Good battle going on for that 5th spot between Andrew Pierce and John Pierce as well. John Pierce over Andrew Pierce right now. Meanwhile, we turn our attentions here on IMCA TV. Good battle going on for that 2nd spot. It is Trevor Fitz, Cody Burke, and now Troy Folger throws his name into the mix.
Faulkner is just hoping and praying these boys keep racing behind him because he's able to set out to about a 2-car length lead. Trevor Fitz bobbling right over there in the chassis bump. Here comes Troy Folger down to the bottom. Slide job City over in 3 and 4. Move Troy Folger to the 3.
Tricky Troy, he is coming. Now he's in 3rd, and he's going to set his sights on the 28. Meanwhile, Trevor Fitz in the 28 machine. He goes to the top side of the racetrack, and he has a hard charging 49 to deal with.
I tell you who's got to put the wheels underneath him. It's that 15P of Andrew Pierce. Here comes Timmy Allerdings, and Andrew Pierce in that 5th and final transfer spot. 1 spot out of the redraw. Meanwhile, Troy Folger working the bottom of Fitz as they come across the line.
Faulkner still out front, and he has 2nd and 3rd closing in. He still continues to run the bottom side of the racetrack. This one's a giddy up here on the bottom side of the racetrack. White flag and South Brim, bring us home.
Faulkner guarding the bottom one more time around. Trevor Fitz to the top side. I tell you what, he's going to send it right now as he heads to the top of the track. Here he comes, Trevor Fitz to the win. Faulkner in the 2, Folger in the 3. Cody Burke holding on for the 4, and Andrew Pierce taking the 5th and final transfer. I tell you what, Merced, give it up for him, Trevor Fitz.
Holy cow, what a race. I honestly didn't think Trevor Fitz had the drive coming off of turn number 4, able to get it done there.